Hello! Welcome back. TohirT's here. Thank you very much for stopping by. Thank you very much for clicking on this video. I hope you had a fantastic week. This time around, it's going to be a little bit of a personal story, but please hold on until the later part of the video because I will actually bring it back to how you can use some of the things that I've learned throughout this story to help you with your own personal brand or your company's brand. Let's just jump straight into it. Have you seen this symbol before? I'm sure you did, because it's actually here, right in this video, in the corner, as my subscribe button. It's also represented in some parts of my channel and other branding across different social media. This is what I call a baby pineapple. In reality, it's not actually a pineapple. It's a flower. It's a flower that I encountered for the first time in Thailand when me and my wife were on a trip there. Now, why would I speak about the flower? Well, this particular baby pineapple holds a lot of personal memories and stories, and it has a very positive association for me and my wife. When we were on our trip in Thailand and we came across this flower, we just found it amazing because imagine you are seeing it for the first time. You might be seeing it for the first time. And this is just crazy. This thing looks exactly like a pineapple, but it's not. And we got so fascinated with it because we found it in one of the flower shops in Thailand, so we kept carrying it with us all the way through the rest of our trip. Unfortunately, we had to leave it behind because it was an organic matter, and we had concerns whether at the border, when we're entering back into the United States, customs will actually let us bring it in, so we had to leave it behind. Now picture this, my wife and I, we actually had our wedding ceremony in Thailand. So now we're coming back, and we're there, back in Thailand, back in Phuket, sitting there with our wedding organizer, florist, and some of the other team members who will help us put all the last final touches several days before the actual ceremony. And one of them is actually the florist, and when they speak to us about the bouquet, when they speak to us about different accessories, they start talking about my boutonniere. And boutonniere is this thing that you put in the lapel hole on your suit. And she asked me, what kind of flower would I want to use in my boutonniere? And it just hit me. I was like, do you know this thing called baby pineapple? She was completely confused because this is not how they call it, but she ran with it. She asked me to show her some photos. We gave her a bunch of pictures from our first original trip that we took, and she was like, yeah, I actually know this thing. Let me see if I can figure it out, but no promises because this thing is rare and there are no guarantees that I will actually find it. At that point, I did not hold much hope at all because A, as she said, it was rare. B, I was asking for it a couple of days before the actual ceremony. So we decided to go ahead and say, you know what? Most likely you won't find it, just go with one of the flowers that you're gonna put in the bride's bouquet anyway. And we kind of left it at that. Hooray! They found it! Can you believe it? A couple of hours before the actual wedding ceremony. So they bring us the bride's bouquet and they bring us the boutonniere. And what do I see? I see the baby pineapple in it. I was so excited. I don't think guys usually get that excited about the boutonniere, but I was super pumped because I was getting my baby pineapple that's gonna be on my suit during my wedding ceremony. I cannot imagine any other flower that would have fit better my personality and our personality as a couple than that baby pineapple. Now at this point of this video, you're asking, you promised us a brand story. Why are you talking about this flower still? Well, the whole point of me sharing this story is that I want to make a statement, and it as follows. You should always pick the brand for your company or for yourself that resonates with you personally, that holds a true story that close to your heart or represents a particular stage in your life. Do not proceed with a name like Submarine Inc. That's actually a true story. One of my father's co-workers came up with that brand name, Submarine Incorporated, for his brand. And it did not make sense at all. He just picked a random word that he found in English. Back to my story. It only makes sense for you to use something personal because when you're trying to create a visual image of your company, when you're trying to create a visual image of your brand, you want to have something that associates with you on a much deeper level than a basic icon, especially when you start talking about this brand to other people. When you start talking about why did you pick a particular color, why did you pick a particular symbol, you want to be able to tell a story that will resonate with people or will at least show them that you're truly passionate about this particular venture enough to put a part of yourself in it, whether it's a name or just a logo. And by the way, it doesn't have to be a name. It can be, like in my case, as part of the logo because, let's be frank, I still don't remember the name, the actual official scientific name of this flower. I'll put it somewhere on the screen if I found it. Number two, it's not actually search friendly. We're gonna touch on this topic later on, but when you think about the name of your company, you also want it to be at least unique enough or something that will help people find it online much easier. Baby pineapple would not make sense. And trust me, TohirT is also a little bit of a challenge. That spell check on Google that tries to change it into the t-shirt still annoys me. That's like one of my career goals right now, is to make sure that TohirT, when you Google for it, it does not change it to the t-shirt, because that will mean that Google actually recognizes my brand. So learn from my story. When you think about a particular piece for your brand, if it's too complicated or you feel like it's too generic, that's gonna misguide people when they're trying to search for you online, maybe then go ahead and put it in your logo. In my case, that's exactly what I did. Every time I see it, it reminds me of what this symbol represents, what part of my life it represents. This is my story, this is my symbol, and I'm gonna hold it close to my heart, close to my chest, the same way as the boutonniere with the baby pineapple in it was during my wedding ceremony. For you, as you think about your personal brand, as you think about your personal identity and some sort of visual representation of what your brand or your company stands for, think about things that you truly care about. Think about items in your life, memories, different parts and different events that took place in past that help you become who you are, and pull them in. Bring them into your brand. When people ask you, why do you have this item on your logo? You'll be able to tell a story which will help them to connect to you and your brand on a much deeper and personal level. I hope it was helpful. I hope you enjoyed this story. I hope now it helps you to resonate with my logo a little bit better. And if you have your own personal story that you would like to share, or maybe you have some sort of ideas about your visual brand that you would like to, hear some feedback on, please share them in the comments below. I'd be happy to, because I love this kind of moments. I love that moment of creation when you're trying to come up with something that will visually represent you. And I'm all about helping other people. So go ahead, stick it down in the comments below, hit me up on my social media, and we're gonna chat about your visual brand. Well, this is all that I had for you guys for today. Like and share it with your friends. If you're new to this channel, go ahead and subscribe and watch the videos in the backlog. If you're already a subscriber, thank you very much for coming back. As always, let me know in the comments below what you thought about this video, and I will see you all next Saturday, 10 AM Eastern, on this very channel. Peace, baby pineapple style.